And we are here. Welcome back to another episode of You Haven't Seen ...
I don't know how to say it.
Titane.
That's how you say it?
Apparently. Yeah, Titane.
I don't believe that.
I'm not gonna question it. It does look like it's spelled like Titane, but I know people are gonna be hella mad if we said it like that. Titane, directed by none other than Julia Ducournau. I looked up the pronunciation of that. Please spare me, Julia Ducournau.
Nice.
French.
Mm-hmm.
One hell of a movie, I will say.
It really was.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of little factoids going on if you want to hear some of those.
Yep.
Let's see.
Just from your head? Where are they from? What do you mean?
Straight from the noggin. We have a lot of haters recently talking about how we have to read off our phones. No, the phones are there for y'all, not for us.
No, they're there to read the actual fact. If I was just getting it out of my head, like, what's the point of that?
See, we've been called unprofessional a few times over the last week. If we wanted to have it all memorized, we could have. But we want to give the cold, hard.
We still wouldn't have. It's an hour podcast. Why would I have it memorized? It doesn't even make sense.
Julia Ducournau, also the director of Raw.
Ooh, that's a fun fact.
For those of you who don't know what Raw is a movie that came out some time ago. And I don't know, I remember watching it mad long ago, and it was like really groundbreaking, and it was about a girl who was vegetarian and slowly becomes a human eater. Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie Titane came out last year, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having a hard time trying to remember all these facts.
Yeah, it's hard, I know.
Yo, you ain't doing nothing if you don't have a couple haters. Exactly. You know what I mean?
If we have only haters and no supporters, maybe two. I've noted two that have actively supported us. Besides just following our TikTok.
The real ones.
Yeah.
This week, my back is going to be taking the compliments. Check it out. So, for those of you who don't know, Titane premiered at the Cannes Film Festival on the 13th of July, 2021.
Whoa.
Where it won the Palme d'Or. It's an awful pronunciation. The Palme d'Or, whatever it is, the highest award you can win at the Cannes Film Festival. Yeah. And
who else was there?
A funny fact about that was, who else was there?
Yeah, like who were they up against?
I'm not sure. I really don't know too much about Cannes. I don't even know how to pronounce it, to be honest. If it's Cannes or Cannes. But here we are. We're going to continue on. It was a funny enough, the Palme d'Or is like the highest accolade. It's like basically Best Picture, like for the Oscars. And it was funny because Spike Lee was there announcing, and he was the first person to announce an award, and they asked him to go. And in the confusion, he announced the winner of the Palme d'Or first of the night, and everyone was like, "Wait, no!" And before anyone could stop him, he said the winner of the Palme d'Or is Titane, and then everyone was like, "No!" And then they continued on pretending like it never happened, and they were like, "Wait, what?" And then at the very end, they announced it again, and it was Titane who won.
Oh my god!
Which is hilarious.
Could you imagine? Just like if you were up for that, you just walk away right after. You didn't win, like.
Yeah, that'd be heartbreaking.
Whatever, I'm out.
It was funny, like watching the video. Spike Lee just looked like so out of place. I'm sorry, Spike Lee, but yeah, all hands to him. But it was hilarious.
Wow, that's funny.
And so the lead of this movie, Titane, her name is Agathe Roussel, French, and this is her first time. It's her like feature film acting debut. She's only done like smaller shorts and everything beforehand. And it's because Julia had stated in many interviews that she wanted someone who was an unknown face for this, and someone who could look androgynous and she found that in Agathe. And yeah, Agathe's usually like a journalist and a model, and she's also a Gemini.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know how to respond to these bags.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I wish I had some like lore, but there's not really
cool.
that much lore.
I don't know what to...
She also said this when casting Agathe. She said, I really needed a face that was completely unknown, and obviously that was very androgynous. I tested male and female non-professionals, and it was a long process because it was very broad. In the end, I made her come back like 5 or 6 times because we're talking about people who had never acted before, so you really have to dig deeper. After that, we worked for a year or so based on both her acting and physical preparation. She didn't know how to fight, for example, and Alexia is someone that at least has to feel threatening if you're in front of her.
Say.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Julia Ducournau, this movie Titane is compared a lot to the movie Crash, and I've never seen it, but she was like, I knew going into this like people were going to compare me to Crash.
What's Crash?
Crash is a movie that is compared to Titane.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna keep it real. That's all I know right
let
now.
Me look it up.
I can only assume that it's another car movie.
Right, it's
the thing is, Julia said it was like, but no, my movie's nothing like that. And
she might be
all
right.
Power to her.
Because I don't think I've ever seen a movie like this.
Yeah. Funnily enough, she's also said it in different interviews and articles that when she's asked about inspiration, she said she doesn't watch movies or film to like get inspiration for her production. She said she actively like stays away from them while she's in the process of like making her own film. It's pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so she's like pulling straight from like her mind, like.
Where is she getting inspiration
But
from?
where's she getting those things from her mind? Yeah. But
that's
what she said.
Probably more alarming, actually.
Yeah.
More alarming, but good for her, I guess.
Yeah, all power to her. But yeah, she said just like her and her DP in the room, just going in.
Writing it or what? What do you mean?
Yeah, just like planning all the shots and
okay.
everything for it. Yeah,
wow.
It was more cinematography based.
Got it.
But she also said that she really enjoyed 1917 by Sam Mendes. So I don't think she said she pulled inspiration from it, but when she like was asked that question, yeah, 1917 came to mind for her.
All these facts, I'm trying to piece it all together. What does this mean?
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Let me try to be a little more cohesive.
1917, doesn't watch movies while filming.
Yeah, while like
in the room with her DP.
In pre-pro and stuff, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could just read this real quick so it doesn't sound so out of nowhere. But yeah, many have compared Titane to David Cronenberg's Crash.
Oh, that's a different film, though, than the one I just read.
Which caused a sensation at the 1996 Cannes Festival for its own conflation of sex, violence, and cars. But Ducournau says that wasn't one of her primary influences. Rather, she saw inspiration from painting and photography and draws formal and thematic connections to Sam Mendes' 2019 movie 1917 and John McNaughton's 1986 film Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, now I kind of want to watch Crash. Cronenberg one.
This is what she said. When I write, and also when I direct, I don't watch films on purpose, because I think it's important to try to stick to your own tracks and to be precise in it, and be demanding with yourself and try to go deeper and deeper. Yeah, Titane falls under the category of body horror, which I never knew was like a hardcore genre.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of horror though. It's like, well, maybe not. I don't know. Bodies, shit.
Yeah, Raw was also body horror. That's all I got right now.
Yeah, I wish I had something to add to that.
My back is dying right now.
Or working really hard to be professional.
Smoking the mic right now. Yeah.
Why those facts?
Why those facts?
Yeah, what was interesting about them to you that you're like, ooh?
To me, it was kind of hard to find some stuff about this movie because it's pretty low key, honestly. I mean, I fell asleep listening to interviews of Julia Ducournau. which was cool. It was just cool hearing her say, but it's like a lot of the articles kind of like say the similar things of like, yeah, she's very like headstrong in her decisions, it seems like, which is really cool. And just from what I got, and yeah, she's just like, she wants stuff to be very vulnerable and very like, yeah, like from herself, it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what she's gonna direct next. So it's another body horror. We have a lot of things to think about.
Yeah, she's very big on. I mean, Titane was like a huge movie about female empowerment. Was like a huge thing she talked about in her like interviews and stuff, and like what was her word? Just like kind of like the frustrations that are taken out and like the really hardcore scenes. Another funny fact. This was going to be another guest episode.
Oh yeah.
With none other than Kira Anderson.
Her full name. Yeah, we're gonna do it with my sister Kira, but I did not tell her what it was, and I was like, just go into this not knowing what it is, because honestly, I didn't really know much about it. I don't think any of us did, and she got a couple minutes. I think it was the first scene in the movie, and she was like, I'm out. You need to turn this off. I'm not watching it.
Yeah, she got her fill within the first few minutes. Yeah. It was that impactful.
So, we would have had a more fun episode, Kira, if you were here.
Well, we'll save it for the next one. Maybe we'll watch Bad Guys.
So now, into the general review of the movie. Which we're going to do like this. Anyway, what did you think of the movie? Like, how did you feel about it? Because how much did you really know about it? What's your experience with the movie before watching this? Because it was in theaters for a little bit, I remember, in our area, but we did not go. Yeah,
it was in theaters. We missed the window. It was a very brief showing, and I remember missing the window. And I remember my roommates going to watch the movie and coming back, and I instantly regretted not going with them because they said it was the weirdest movie they've ever seen, and they were just like absolutely shocked, like eyes glazed, and like they couldn't really talk about anything. And I didn't really get much more than that. Like, it was just like, that's how flabbergasted it was. And it wasn't until like half a year later that I was able to watch it. So I was excited to watch it.
Yeah, well, how did you like it?
Overall? I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
It was insane, honestly. It was very like artistic, but also very chaotic. And just like, it just goes to show, it's like you could really film anything.
That is true.
What did you think?
I liked it. I did not know much about it. I did watch the trailer and I was like, ooh, this looks fun. I was expecting more of like a campy type of like horror, because I think with the cars and everything, but the way it was actually very realistic. So I think I would have had a lot more fun, honestly, if it were campy, but that's just me. But like every scene is very anxiety inducing. Like, you're on the edge of your seat almost every scene. Like, when am I gonna get a break? When are we gonna get a break? But it's cool that, you know, that's what they were able to achieve. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts that like had a nod to like, not a nod, but like to like the male gaze. Like, they had a calling to like the male gaze. This is what I remember from the interviews.
Like when?
In terms of that, like in the beginning, like the opening scene, in the long take.
This is like where I think it depends on who you are and where you're at, but like for scenes like that, she is like the one in control, and like she seems like she's profiting off of the male gaze. So in a way, to me, it seems more empowering than if she were like, you know what I mean? Like, because she's the one that's putting herself out there. Like, it's not anybody making her do it. Like, if you think about it, if you made something like this, like, what would you do?
If I made something like this?
Yeah, same story, everything. Like, where are you going with it? Like, what's your angle? Hers was very realistic.
Yeah. It's definitely like, it definitely has the potential to be a really, really, really funny. Is probably where I would like cop out to, for sure. Kudos to her for not copping out to that.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you mean cop out? Like, you would be like, I'm not making this?
No, I would just probably steer straight into, like, making it really funny.
I don't think I would go, like, comedy, but, like, I would definitely lean more into, like, the outfits that we could have had, like some of the moments with her in the car. Like, I don't think we needed more of that. No, that's not really spoilers. You see that in the trailer. But there should have been more with cars, in my opinion. I think we could have seen more with her in the cars, like her driving a car. That would have been fun. Like, I don't know, stuff like that. Especially, like, the costumes. There's definitely a lack of costumes.
Yeah, costume department didn't have to do a whole lot.
Well, prosthetics did, though, I think.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I mean, overall, like, would I watch it again right now? Nah. Would I show it to somebody, though?
I would show it to somebody for sure. I think I'd definitely show it to somebody. I would not watch it again, though. Watch it with somebody to show it to them.
Yeah, it is very disturbing.
Yeah.
But fun.
I feel like this is such a plain review. I don't even know what else to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we might need more context for, because on the surface it's not, like, crazy, but it's, like, the details that are, like, what in the world? That where you're literally, like, watching it, like, yo, like...
Yeah.
Like, when you think about people, like, putting, like, needles into, like, their fingernails or whatever, like, underneath their nail, that's kind of the feeling watching this movie for a lot of it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Let's go with these Amazon reviews, huh?
Yeah.
I got a lot. So here's one of the first Amazon reviews. This one has it's a 5-star review from Christian. Provocative, dazzling, avant-garde. If you don't like French films, don't watch this. This movie is simply art using film as the medium. If you are looking for straightforward entertainment, you'll be disappointed. If you are looking for something you've never seen before, if you want to feel something during a movie, if you want a deeper meaning in your movies, this will fit the bill.
Okay, that's not the reviews I was seeing. Like, we need to find the funny reviews. Like, because I saw one that was like, wait, okay, maybe when I looked at it.
This one right here.
First.
Beautifully batshit. Another 5-star review. Don't Google it. Don't research it. Shocking, yes. Tender, yes. Beautiful, crazy, moving. Takes the best of French extreme horror and gives it a heart. I was completely off balance from minute 1 and moved to tears by minute last. For those with strong stomachs seeking human connection on the road to something different.
This is a French review.
So unenthused by my boring ass Amazon
No,
review.
I'm just like thinking, okay, this because I found this one, which is actually from a French person because it was in French and I had to translate it. And they said, which then makes me think, what do French people really think about French films? Because, you know, it's always like, you don't like films if you don't like French movies. Like, you know what I mean? They're so like, they said, really dull, boring, regret buying this DVD. I don't recommend. Yawning emoji, snorting emoji thing. I don't know what they call that, but.
Dull?
Yep.
Is the last word I would use to describe this movie.
I could kind of understand what they're saying in the sense that there's a lot of scenes that feel like you're really going to go somewhere, but you're just riding in the car with someone. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't end up going anywhere, but you're like, oh, is she going to do something to another person? You know what I mean? So, in that sense, I could see where it's dull. Because like I said before, to me, like, the... like the not even close, but like I would think this is kind of similar to like Kill Bill in the sense that like you're watching this woman go around and murder people. Now it's coming from a different place, obviously, but in Kill Bill there's just a lot more heart to a lot of the scenes. But I think it's like the point with this movie that she doesn't have a heart. She's human, but she's not. Like, she's a machine. Like, that makes sense. But it is like, when are we going to feel something for you? And it takes a really long time to feel that, you know?
That's a huge thing she talked about in a lot of her articles and interviews as well, actually. Is while in the writing process and the filming and everything, it's like having a character that's so unrelatable in the beginning. So she was like, it was really hard for her to like continue the story knowing that it starts off so unrelatable. But she was like, do all like main protagonists have to be relatable? and she doesn't believe so. From the Mad Movie Man on Amazon, 1 star. How could anybody like this train wreck? Only a depraved person can make such a horrible movie like this. I did not finish and threw it in the garage. How can anybody like this?
The garage?
In the garage, not the garbage, in the garage.
What does that mean?
The garage to save it for later, is what I can assume.
What is this review? Oh my god, okay. Clarisse Lawfrey says, it's a body horror that's really a family drama. That's really a sly comedy about the discomfort of being trapped inside all this vulnerable, imperfect flesh. Just like how they leaned into the family drama, which I guess it kind of is, but...
Yeah, I think there's many themes in this movie. Thinking back on it, pretty cool.
But yeah, overall, interesting.
3 interestings for this movie.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe we get into the spoilers now. So, yeah, let's go into the spoiler review.
Worst part for you, what was the most disturbing scene?
The most disturbing scene. There was a part that we were both like, what the heck? What is it? What are they doing? And I don't remember where.
I mean...
There were so many parts that I was just like, can we not see this? Like, the old man's ass. Probably the scary... No, I'm kidding. It was gross. Like, I don't want to see that. But we did.
he was juicing up a lot, and they made that apparent. That he was juicing up every night. And we saw every night of it that happened.
Every night.
And it was just graphic as... Oh, it was awful. It could have been worse. To be honest, it could have been worse. But awful.
Yeah, like, do you remember, like, Requiem for a Dream?
Awful.
But see, I enjoyed that movie. Like, I was like, I'm living in this movie and it's fun, and like they're doing drugs and it's bad. It's not fun, but it's like, I think that's the difference between some of these movies. Like, that was like more Hollywood and this isn't, and there's like some things that that seems more glorified than this, you know. Even though it seems not glorified, but then when you compare it to this, it's like, wow.
I thought you brought Requiem for a Dream up because of this one specific scene that I still haven't fully saw because I couldn't watch.
What scene?
It's like with the needle. Honestly, any needle scenes, not the easiest to watch. But yeah, a lot of needles in this. What else? The opening scene's pretty insane.
Let's start from the beginning. She's kicking her dad's chair. Moral of the story: she gets in a car accident because of that. Then she has to have her brain cut open. Put a metal plate in there.
We saw that.
We saw all that. That was probably the most graphic part, to be honest. It was a really sickening way to open the film, but we got through it.
A minute in, and that's when Kira...
Yeah, she was like, I'm
got
about
her
to throw
first
up,
taste.
guys. Why did you let me watch this when I'm eating tuna?
She was eating tuna.
Worst combination in history. And then what happened? Then immediately... What is the girl's name? Alexia. I'm horrible with names anyway, but Alexia comes out of the hospital, all bandaged up, runs to the car and makes out with the window. So, we already knew from the beginning where this was headed. I just want to know what sick doctor, like, fucked up her brain to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Because she clearly had no attachment to the car before. She was kicking the back of the seat, and then after that, totally changed.
Yeah. Yeah, it opened with a bang, for sure. Yeah, and there's a lot of nudity in this. A lot of...
Do you consider it nudity when they're nude the entire film?
Is it called something else when it's like that?
I don't know. I just feel like it can't be considered nudity when it's not, like, in a sexual way. Like, have you seen the one where Tom Hardy runs around naked the whole movie? Bronson? Yeah. It's not sexual. He's just naked the whole movie. So to me, that doesn't feel like nudity, even though it is, you know?
Oh, got you.
But
nudity is more sexual to you.
I think so. Because that's usually when they describe it, but there's only so many films where people are actually naked. Like Avatar. How...
Were they naked?
They're naked.
That's interesting. There was a lot of nakedness and nudity in this movie. But more nakedness.
That's true.
Yeah, there's just a lot of, like, stuff that you do with your body that's pretty insane. Like it was uncomfortable watching one of the scenes. There was her and her friend, and her friend had a nipple
Oh,
piercing.
her friend?
I think that, yeah.
You think they were friends?
Oh.
I think they're more than that.
Yeah, they're her cohort or someone.
Her lover?
Her colleague.
Her colleague, what the fuck?
And she was like pulling on her nipple ring, but I was like, God, that looks awful. And it like stretched so far, and she was like, ow.
Do you think that was the actor's actual nipple?
I can't imagine it being. That looked so painful. It literally stretched like bubble gum.
I always think like nipple piercings are cool, but then when I see stuff like that,
You hear about it getting caught on stuff, and you're like, is it worth? I've considered. I'm like,
I considered, but
then you hear stories like that, and you're just like, yeah, nah.
like, why? It's dangerous enough having your ears pierced.
Yeah. It's a dangerous game. A lot of holes in the body.
Yeah.
That
scene was really uncomfortable. But like every scene was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I remember one of the first scenes, when it's like the only scene that she's dancing on the car where we actually see her dancing. It goes on for so long. I remember being like, this is cool. I love that shot, tracking. You know, we see her get into her space, riding the car, all that stuff. And then it keeps going and going and going. And like that wasn't really uncomfortable until it just kept going. And it was one shot. And then every other scene was uncomfortable just like that, so...
Yeah, that was like, Julia talked about that being like the male gaze where the camera was like just lingering the whole time. That's what she's talked about it.
Not high.
Not high. Just lost. Yeah, like I think it's one of the first times I've seen like full nakedness in a movie. Like, maybe I'm tripping. No, I'm tripping. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of like full body nudity that was that long.
Oh.
I guess. But there's so much more to it than this. I don't know why I can't think of anything else.
You watch X-Men and Mystique is wearing the exact same thing. She's literally naked. She just has blue paint all over her body.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Like, it's not... I think it would actually be different if it were a guy, because, like, I've only seen one movie where he's, like, literally fully naked the entire film. And that was, like, The Fast Runner. It was, like, a Native Alaskan film.
Oh.
Yeah. Or, I don't know if they were in Alaska, but it was somewhere north. So, he was naked for a lot of the film. You know, and if you see a body that long, it's, like... It's weird.
Yeah. We're all just human beings at the end of the day. Yeah, this movie was... Yeah, she had a lot of intercourse with vehicles. She got into a fire truck at one point. Her prosthetics, when she started growing the car baby, were really good.
Yeah. But it did look really fake. Like, the boobs looked really fake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They look like, I don't know, they just look weird to me.
Yeah.
Look like Thor's fat suit that he wears in Endgame.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of disturbing stuff. There's that point where like she's wanted. She's on like wanted posters and stuff, so she has to like, she shaves her head, shaves her eyebrows, and then smashes her face to break her nose to like make her face look different. But like the way she was doing, she's like punching herself here, and it wasn't working, so she just went like, smashed her face.
There were a lot of things that I didn't even watch, so I did not see that part. I knew that she was doing it, obviously, but yeah, did not watch that.
Yeah. And her nose was messed up for the rest of the movie, and she just looked completely different.
I really want you to watch like Kill Bill or something where like the killing is fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, did she kill people in cool ways?
Yeah.
On like slashing a chair in someone's head and then cracking it and then sitting down.
They would do that too, but it just doesn't feel as real, so I think it's more fun to me. Like, there's a lot more blood, like a lot more like funny little moments. Like, it's just like in a ridiculous amount of blood and stuff. Yeah, this was very real. Like this is like they want it to be like really real. Yeah, I think a movie like I would compare it to in a way is like Mother, because in that movie like she's pregnant. That's not the only thing, but like the reason that she's
Okay.
pregnant isn't like she is actually pregnant, but it's like more allegorical. You know what I mean? Like it's more like she's pregnant, but what does like the pregnancy mean? If that makes sense. Like it seems like it's a whole like the whole film is about something else. If that makes sense. Like in this film, like she's like this machine trying to kill people, and then she finds the old man, and he like helps make her not as much of a machine, and then she births like a hybrid baby.
Yeah, spine is metal.
Yeah, I actually really wanted to see a car come out of her.
Been hilarious. Would have been so funny, a little car.
It's like a little Hot Wheel.
Mm-hmm.
All of that for a Hot Wheel.
I thought, what do you think of like the performances? I thought Agathe was awesome. Her feature film debut. She had to do a lot in this for sure. I'm sure she's gonna be busy as an actor for a while. Now, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean sometimes, yeah, who knows? I think it's always cool when people, like when directors cast people that aren't actors. Like I still haven't seen the movie, but there's that one with, they're basically like living in a trailer park, and it's with Willem Dafoe. And one of the girls in the film, like she's not actually an actor.
The Florida Project.
Yeah. But that seemed really cool to me. Like they did the same thing like in Euphoria. Like I think honestly like that feels you don't know who I'm talking about, Angus Cloud.
Oh.
Yeah, he did go to like an art school, but he wasn't like acting.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious to know that.
Yeah, so I kind of like it when they cast people to like, not that she's like that, but I feel like she emulated so much of the character that it was like, yeah, you don't know how to act maybe, but you're basically there, so you don't even need to bother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're acting, but you're not like, I don't know. I like that. Well, we do have quotes. Do we?
Do we?
I don't. There honestly wasn't a whole lot of dialogue in this film, really.
Yeah, no, there wasn't, which is kind of nice.
But I really feel like we need to pick movies that are going to be fun. Because some of these are just hard to talk about. Like,
Yeah, like this
there's
might be
nothing
the
bad
last
with this movie. Like, there's nothing bad with it. I can't really be like... But at the same time, is it my favorite? No. And I just feel like an asshole talking about it.
On top of that, I think we should pick movies that are, like, popular, too.
Yeah, like the
fresh.
ones that people are going to attack us for. When we say bad things about them.
Whatever movie comes out next, we should hit. This might be the last one until we like get some traction and be like, yeah, we could do little mini-sodes of like
I would rather
fun movies that we want to do.
I would rather watch this and react to it with everyone. You know what I mean? Like
on live with 10 million people watching.
Exactly. The 10 million viewers
So
will have.
vain.
I would because it's more interesting then, and then everyone can watch it together. But like this is like I don't know what to say about it. It's a weird movie. Like, you know, there's a lot of spoilers. So.
Yeah, it's like one of those you should just check it out for yourself if you're curious about a thriller, hard to watch movie that's like kind of exciting.
Yeah, and I will say there's a lot of heart to the movie. You know, at the end, the whole like storyline. I honestly thought we were about 40 minutes in, and I thought the movie was almost over until the old man came into the picture, and then I was like, okay, so this is actually where it's headed. So the whole pacing of it, in that sense, felt weird, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this feels off. It was just like that it took that long to get to the point of like. Where is this actually headed, you know? Because it just took all that time to explain that she was like such a machine, such a heartless person. So I do want to see another movie where they fuck a car, though. I was expecting so much different stuff from this.
Have you seen Cars 3?
That's what I was saying, because the one scene where she's like in the car and she's like, it's not the fire truck, it's like the first scene where we see her. I think she only fucks a car twice, but it has to be a good looking car, I think, in her mind. Old.
Some good looking car.
I think it has to have the stick shift, because I'm pretty for sure that's the only way that this can happen for her. Which I was thinking, do fire trucks have stick shifts?
Yeah, I don't know.
She was going at it.
It would be a lot of a stick shift for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could have like the gear shifter thingy down there too.
Yeah, I've seen big trucks with big ones like. Maybe what the fire truck had.
I love that they didn't even wait to like hint if that's what was happening. They just went right into it.
Yeah.
Yep. If the car was somewhat alive, you know, because the way it was moving, it now seemed like she could do that.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. Also, the fact that it was knocking on the door, and that's why she went and opened it.
Yeah.
Remember, she was fully naked. She took a shower after she killed the guy.
Yeah.
She was like, "What is this knocking sound?" And we're like, "Why are you opening the door naked?" And then she opens the door, no one's there. The car is on with its lights.
Yeah.
The car is there with its lights on. She walks over, gets in, and starts going at it.
Yeah.
And then it's bouncing up and down. How did that make sense?
Yeah, but they didn't insinuate that the cars were alive ever. So I, mean,
I kind of got the sense that one was.
Yeah, I mean, I did, but then
after
after that,
like, knocking on the door,
yeah,
and then also have its lights on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably her being like, I want to show you what it would actually be like if there were humans in Cars, the cartoon movie series.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's how it would have looked.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good-looking cars out there.
I can't even imagine like looking at an object and being like, whoa. I mean, you could still think that, but like not in the same way. You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly, not far off from a lot of people I know.
Wait, what? You
that
think
are obsessed with cars?
Those guys like obsessed with cars, they would really be doing that? Yeah.
If it was like, if it wasn't inanimate,
they'd be fucking it.
Yeah.
They might
There's
actually
a lot of people, like truck dudes too. You know they wish they can do something. They like are as close as they can to doing it. You know?
Yeah, I think so. Really, truck obsessed guys. But then how would that work for them? You know, I don't want to go too into detail, but like, wow.
Some Silverados. What's next on that? Are we rating this joint and then talking about
Yeah, we
what's
should
next?
rate this movie. What do you rate this film? What do you rate Titane? Titane. It's Titane?
Titane.
But isn't there an E at the end, though?
Yeah.
Titane.
I might have to ponder it for another 3 seconds. I would say, honestly, this is a 9 out of 10 movie.
Were you really? I'm gonna say that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it not a 10 for you?
I can't put my finger on it. It just doesn't feel like a 10. I think the reason it doesn't feel like a 10 to me is because what I was talking about earlier, like the hollowness of it kind of always makes me be like, okay, maybe I don't enjoy this movie as much as I do. Like, you walk away from a film and you're like, I don't feel whole. I feel half. And I don't like that feeling. So it's getting a point off.
Yeah, I think like 10 is just like kind of personal bias at this point. It's like I really enjoyed it. Like I'm just like I wouldn't just give it a 10. Like I just don't. I know I'm probably not gonna watch it unless I show it to someone, but it would rank up there in like most disturbing films, which I'm gonna
for
keep,
sure, yeah.
like in my pocket to like ever watch. And it's like short enough to be like it's not like I have to watch like a 2.5 hour film just for this one scene. Like I feel like we could watch it.
For what scene are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying like Suspiria.
Okay.
Like I can't suggest Suspiria because it's so long.
What scene is it? Please describe the scene to me.
Yeah,
it was a really good movie. Like I don't really have anything bad to say about it besides the hollow feeling that I don't like at the end of a film.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that was like part of the reason that's part of the film.
Yeah. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Yeah, I don't think there's like anything more like it's not going to be rewatchable for me just because of the nature of what it is. That's like not a bad thing at all. I'm just like it did literally hit the whole mark, and I think it was like a wholesome story along with being like super gruesome of a portrayal of everything.
Hard to watch but heartwarming. Wow. So now let's get on to our movie news.
Movie news.
Do you have any?
Let's get it.
You created this segment and you don't even have any. All right, well, I found some, okay? This is what I found this week from news sources, okay? You guys can't act like I'm making this shit up. All right, here we go. So for Dune Part 2, we do have Christopher Walken, who's joining, and also Florence Pugh, which I guess they've been announced a while ago. But I'm not like too in depth with all that to know. But yeah, Christopher Walken's gonna be playing the Emperor. I don't remember what Florence is gonna be playing, but yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting, exciting. Mm-hmm. Oh, I literally wrote it right here. That's stupid. So Christopher Walken is going to be playing the Emperor, and then Florence Pugh as Princess Ireland?
Ireland?
Ireland? And then Austin Butler is also going to be in it, and he will be playing Feyd-Rautha Harkonnen. But yeah, I thought that was cool.
Wait, Austin Butler's going to be in Dune also?
Yeah, those are the 3 people they're joining. And then another thing that I learned, which I was kind of excited about because I feel like she was like my favorite part of this movie. Gemma Chan is going to be getting her own Crazy Rich Asians spinoff.
Oh my gosh, who was she in the movie?
She's literally my favorite part of the movie. I forget what her character's name is, but she's like basically the sister of the brother who's like, why are you marrying into my family? And she was the one with like all the like really good outfits, and I think she had like a sad storyline with her husband, but I don't remember. I just remember liking her storyline.
Oh shoot, yeah.
Yeah, so she's gonna get her own spinoff.
Yeah, with the husband. Yeah, no, that's cool. Damn. That's
and
exciting.
Then also another exciting movie news that I was actually really excited about, but also kind of scared because you guys know how much I actually like this movie. There is going to be a 1990s sequel to Dirty Dancing.
Really?
Yes. So.
A 1990s sequel.
It's gonna be set in the 1990s. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
So I'm excited about that, but I'm interested like who they're gonna cast because I guess they are gonna have Jennifer Grey back. So I don't know what she'll be doing. And then, yeah. Also, it's weird because, which I kind of mentioned in the article that I found this from, that it's gonna be weird because it's set in the 1990s and these like little getaway camps, I forget what they're called, didn't really exist in the 90s. Like they really had fallen off since like the, you know, when they were popular in like the 40s, 50s, 60s. So, yeah.
Next week, we can't. So the NC-17 idea would be cool, but man, I don't know if they want to see any of that. They want to see Thor: Love and Thunder. They want to see.
That's coming out like a ways from now.
Yeah.
The next Marvel film.
There's that Firestarter movie. Thank you guys for watching, and catch you on the next one.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.